Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and want to see more. Coming up, my report on the women's grand final between St. Helens and Leeds Rhinos. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the Emerald Headingley Stadium in Leeds, the venue for the women's grand final, where we see St. Helens take on the Leeds Rhinos for this year's showpiece final trophy. Saints have been unbeaten all year and are going for their third trophy of the season. The only team that could possibly stand in the way is Leeds Rhinos, as they have the equal star quality in the British game to cause Saints any sort of problems. And with that, we'll go into both teams. So we're having a look at the St. Helens team first of all, as it includes Chantel Crowell, Leah Burke, Jodie Cunningham, the reigning women of steel in Women's Rugby League, Tara Jones, Emily Rudge, Paige Travis, and Naomi Williams, who recently played in the England team against Wales. And those are the players that we're looking at to cause the most issues for Leeds Rhinos, as well as playmaker Zoe Harris, and we have also Beth Stott. At this time, Saints are without injured scrum half Faye Gaskin after a freak injury in this year's Challenge Cup final, which Saints beat York to 34 points to 6 to hold the trophy. But they are looking to make it 3-3 for the unbeaten side. Now for the Leeds side, themselves bolstered by a lot of England internationals like Courtney Winfield-Hill, Francesca Goldthorpe, Amy Johnson, who is returning to the 19 after an injury ruled her out for the last 6 games, and Lucy Murray, who missed the semi-final. They are without a few first team stars of their own, with the likes of Tara Moxon, Paige Webster, Danielle Anderson, Adio Akwiwu, and Shannon Lacey because of injury. But with England stars like Caitlin Beavers and also Chloe Kerrigan in their side, they have a chance to put Saints to bed and win this game. The referees today is Aaron Moore, with his touch judges Liam Rush and Andy Smith. Video referee is Marcus Griffith. And we start with Leeds kicking off to St. Helens, and after a few good sets on the 4th minute with some smart kicks by either side, and once reaching their end of sets, crossfield kicks are finding space and ground. Winfield Hill's kicks in particular are causing issues for Saints on 3 separate occasions. 8 minutes have gone and Saints start to put their muscle into the game as they're tackling in numbers, and they force freeing back from the 30-metre line to Leeds' own 20-metre line. On the 9th minute, on a returning set from that great work in defence by St. Helens, a great offload by Crowell in the tackle sets up Saints on the last 5 metres out from the Leeds line. But unfortunately the kick is too long and trickles out. This gets Beavers seeing the Saints' defence is disjointed, and the Leeds full-back takes a quick 20-metre tap. But she is stopped in her tracks by the retreating Cunningham, who is offside and is sent for 10 minutes to the sin bin for this professional foul. There's not much involved in this, unfortunately, as Leeds were not able to make the man advantage tell, as even though they were getting in better positions, this is just due to being a man up. but are not really causing Saints too many trouble. And on the 17th minute, there's no real positioning gained. There's a very good crowd at Emerald Headingley, as well as the bottom tier of the North Stand is 3/4 full, and the main stand is almost full as well. On the 19th minute, back to full strength, Saints keep up with Saints no matter the numbers, as they get a couple of penalties for offside and a small ball steal. Saints have crowd held up over the line, but on the resulting play, Harris kicks for the corner for Leah Burke, and it just holds up in the in goal for Burke to be given a video ref confirmed try, as she grounds the balls between her feet before her left foot lands on the line. Unfortunately, the conversion is missed, but Saints have the lead at 4-0. On the 23rd minute, Leeds forward pass is called in their own 25, and Saints are now camped on the Leeds goal line, but the Rhinos have enough to see out this threat. A Crowell late shot on Hornby on 25th minute gives Leeds a relieving penalty, but no yellow is given for this incident. It was a very late shot. Even the commentary team, including Crowell's maid of honour, Kelsey Gentles, admits that she could have walked for 10 minutes. On the 27th minute, an error in their own 20 by the Saints gives Leeds possession and territory, but it has a poor end to the set, as a poor kick is scooped up easily by the Saints defender. We come to the 33rd minute, and Saints are getting momentum up, and as you would expect, down the right-hand wing, as that is a Saints staple from both the men's and the women's game. As Roberts hammers in and is bravely tackled by the Leeds winger Nuttall in a fantastic effort, but it is to the Leeds winger's detriment, as she looks like she's got a bad impact once she hits the ground. They are taking their time with Nuttall at this point, as they have called her for a stretcher and she's put into a neck brace. I do wish her well, and I hope it's a speedy recovery for her to come back next season. Both teams are getting their hands free at pace when it comes to balls in the playing the ball in the tackle. First, Saints Crowell doesn't quite find her supporting runner with a gaps opening, and Butcher finds a half gap for Leeds, but unfortunately the pass isn't the best when the player was in support. And on the 38th minute, a great effort from Leeds as they chase down a Winfield Hill distance kick, which stays in goal, and Saints are forced to pick up the ball. But the chase is fantastic also, as much as the kick, as they force the Saints player to be tackled in the in-goal area, and Saints have to drop out. But immediately from the dropout, it is dropped by the Saints, by the Leeds Rhinos. I think Robinson and Butcher were both going for the ball, and Robinson, who should have called and made it hers, dropped the ball, and it was immediately given back to Saints as they rushed up to retrieve the ball. And this gives impotence to the Saints attack, as Jodie Cunningham finds gaps appear in the Leeds defence, and she uses her pace to score almost untouched from her own 40 under the sticks to give the second try of the game to St.Helens and the reigning Woman of Steel. The conversion is made at half time, and it is 10-0 to St.Helens as we go into the half time break, and the lead is for the league and cup double winners. So we're back underway at Headingley as the Saints kick off to start the second half, but unfortunately straight from the kickoff, Hannah Butcher drops the ball and gives Saints the ball about 12 metres out from the Leeds try line. But fortunately for Leeds, the Saints they'll end the set by making a kick into the in goal, which Leeds forced to put the ball out in goal for a dropout. And on the repeat set, Saints go left, but are forced out by some good Leeds defence, as the Saints winger is trying to get up ahead of steam. This gains them more ground, as Saints are called offside during the set. Leeds are really bright in the attack at this moment in time and find themselves near the Saints try line, and on the last, a Winfield Hills kick to the left is caught and passed by Goldthorpe, but the pass is behind Hume unfortunately and goes into touch with the try line calling Hume. Unfortunate, but that's a great start to Leeds' second half. Leeds and before Saints drop the ball in good areas on the resulting sets from this great Leeds attack, unfortunately, and Leeds are compounded on the 10th minute after being pinged offside for a penalty. But a great tackle by Robinson and Hardcastle dislodges the ball in the tackle near to the Leeds try line on the left hand side. And it's an excellent shot on the England centre. Ball and all, dislodges the ball. Leeds get the ball back. Just to let you know, a record attendance for the women's grand final, as there was 4,235 in attendance. On the 14th minute, pressure building on the Leeds try line is relieved by Winfield Hills touch finder, a really good kick that gets them out from their own 30 into the Saints half, but they spoil it with ripping the ball out of the Saints hands and giving Saints a penalty. And on the back of the penalty, Harris runs on the 16th minute from the left to right of the ruck, and on this is a last tackle play, and puts in a weighted grubber into the corner for Leah Burke to get a double, which the video referee confirms so. Stott's attempt at conversion this time didn't have the legs, but it's 14-0 to Saints. It just died a death and it dips under the bar, unfortunately. Great try, but not the legs. On the 19th minute, and it's back-to-back tries for St.Helens as Hardcastle is in. From the kickoff, Paige Travis makes an excellent run and a quick play the ball for Hardcastle, and she outruns the Leeds defence with some efforts at tackling, but she's too quick and too powerful to get through the Leeds defence, and she scores left of the posts. Stott unfortunately fails to add the extras again, but Saints are 18 points to 0 up. And so things have to change at this point, and on the 21st minute, a short restart by Leeds is recovered by Leeds, but it's a disappointing end of that set for Leeds, as Saints start to motor downfield with Cunningham and gets a 6 again as her pass is knocked down by the Leeds defenders. And after Leeds fumble a Saints crossfield kick, a forward pass gives Leeds back possession. Close to their own line though, so the pressure is still on these Rhinos. Some tough tackling by Saints on the 66th minute gives them great possession and position, and Zoe Harris gets the ball and attacks the line and sees a gap open up in front of her, which leaves her with a clear run to the line. But it was a good try by the Saints number 6. Stott adds the extras this time, and the Saints are 24 points to 0 up, going into the closing stages. Another attempt by Leeds for a short kickoff was not successful and gives the Saints a penalty on half time. The result in turning the ball over 5 metres from the Leeds try line on their set, So, a decent enough attack by Saints, but not enough to get over the try line this time. We're coming into the final 5 to 10 minutes, and more sustained possession by the Saints, and they attack the Leeds on the right hand of the defence. But even with the numbers, Cunningham numbers being for the Saints defense, the Leeds defence to cover all bases, or so they thought. Cunningham bullet passes out to the left winger Danny Bush, who is almost on the touchline, creating an overlap for a free run to score her try for her first try of the game. It is a tough conversion to be made, but Saints are still 28-0 up, as Stott unfortunately fails in adding this one also. On the 76th minute, Zoe Harris attacks the line and dribbles a perfect kick in goal for Hume, but Leeds get there first for a dropout. This though gives the repeat set to St. Helens, and they're camped in the Leeds 20 as we're coming closer and closer to the final hooter. And the final hooter does come 4 minutes after, and St. Helens are treble winners at 28 points to 0. What another enjoyable game. Both teams played their part, and it was just Saints' quality that shone out at the end. They had some really good players like Jodie Cunningham, Amy Hardcastle, Chantal Crowell, just to name 3. They were the best. They were almost the best players on the pitch. And guess what? You're all going to think, who, Anthony, is going to be your man of the match for the game? Well, I've chosen someone who was instrumental in all the goal forward that the Saints had. They're a top player, got involved in the tackling, and also set up a couple of tries. And to be honest, I don't think there'd be anyone that could argue that with my assessment. And that's Zoe Harris. Best player on the day, in my opinion. Kicks were weighted perfectly. She set up 2 tries with the kicks for Leah Burke on that right hand side. Ran at the line and made a try for herself. What more could you ask for? Yes, you could say that everyone's working off the back of Chantal Crowell and the rest of the forwards for the Saints team, but she had to be there to score them. All set them up. So, my man of the match, Zoe Harris. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's another episode in the can. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember, like, subscribe, and share this video worldwide. Now, I'm going to ask you a serious question. Would you like to see the North's best team face the South's best team in the Super League as like a challenge, a National Cup challenge, for instance? We see St. Helens versus the Cardiff Demons. Be a good game. Tough for Cardiff, and show where we're at in rugby league when it comes to the South. Be interesting to see these teams come along to play against each other, but I'm all for a Saints versus Cardiff showpiece final between the two. Put it on Twitch, invite all the teams and play it in the stadium in the middle, somewhere like the Kazam Stadium. Interesting. Be a good idea to play. Kazam Stadium, Oxford. I think they play rugby union there anyhow, so all the posts are all set up and everything. And it'll be a good place, a neutral venue for a challenge game between the best teams in North and South. But hey ho, that's for people above my station to say. But tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Anyway, please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide. We can't let St. Helens women to lose do it all themselves. I'll keep saying that as it winds up a few people, and it's probably true. But in the meantime, stay safe, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.